Before God elevates someone, certain signs begin to appear. Not everyone recognizes them. Not everyone understands them. Some people even run away from these signs because they don't look like success at first. But if you're experiencing these signs right now, God may be preparing you for something bigger than you ever imagined. You might realize that what you're going through right now is not a setback. It's a setup for something massive. Welcome to Faith-Driven Success, where faith meets purpose and success becomes inevitable. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 powerful signs that God is preparing you for massive success. And if even 3 of these signs are happening in your life, you're closer than you think. And this isn't just motivation, this is spiritual insight. Because throughout the Bible, before anyone stepped into greatness, they first went through a process. If you recognize these signs in your life, you're not behind, you're being prepared. God will always break you before He can use you. Before we talk about the first sign, there's a powerful picture in the Bible that explains how God prepares people. In Jeremiah 18:1-6, God sends the prophet to a potter's house. And when he arrives, he sees the potter working on clay. But something interesting happens. The clay gets spoiled in the potter's hands. So what does the potter do? He doesn't throw it away. He doesn't give up on it. Instead, he reshapes it. He presses it. He remolds it. He starts again until it becomes exactly what he intended. Then God says something powerful. Like clay in the hands of the potter, so are you in my hands. Let that sink in. That means every moment of pressure, every delay, every breaking point is not meant to destroy you. It's God shaping you. It's God removing what doesn't belong and forming you into the person who can handle the success He's about to give you. Because the truth is, if God gives you success without shaping you first, that same success can destroy you. So before the elevation, there must be preparation. The first sign is, you're experiencing intense challenges. At this point, life feels harder than usual. Pressure, delays, confusion. It's like everything is resisting you. You try, and it doesn't work. You pray, and nothing changes immediately. You push forward, but doors stay closed. And you start asking, God, why is this happening to me? But what if this pressure is not meant to break you, but to build you? Here's the truth. God doesn't promote people He hasn't prepared. Joseph went through betrayal, slavery, and prison before becoming a ruler in Egypt. Every stage looked like failure, but it was actually a training. The deeper the struggle, the greater the capacity God is building in you. Your struggle is not punishment, but polishing in disguise. It's preparing you. The second sign, you feel set apart and isolated. Friends don't understand you anymore. You feel disconnected from old environments. That's not loneliness, that's divine separation. People you used to be close to, you don't connect the same way anymore. Conversations feel different, environments feel uncomfortable, and sometimes you feel completely alone. But listen carefully. God will separate you before He elevates you. And the truth, the devil also uses this technique to destroy the lives of people. He will separate you so you begin to feel ill of yourself, thinking life isn't worth it. If the devil can get you at this spot of thinking low at your point of separation, he has got you. The Bible tells us David encouraged himself in the Lord. It's a testing point. God often isolates you so He can speak to you clearly and shape your identity. Before David became king, he spent years alone in the wilderness. Why? Because crowds can distract you, but isolation develops you. God uses it to shape your character, your thinking, and your dependence on Him. The third sign, you have a strong inner conviction. There's something inside you that refuses to settle for less. A voice telling you, you're meant for more. That's not pride. That's purpose calling you forward. Something inside you is changing. You can't explain it, but you feel it. You're no longer satisfied with average. You're no longer comfortable staying at the same level. There's a quiet voice inside you saying, you were made for more. And here's the truth. That voice is not random. It's purpose awakening. Even when things look okay on the outside, something within you keeps saying, this is not it. You try to ignore it. You try to be satisfied, but that feeling doesn't go away. That's not confusion. That's purpose calling you. Think about Moses. He was raised in Pharaoh's palace. He had access to wealth, power, comfort, everything most people would dream of. He could have lived a life of ease,
no struggle, no stress, no pressure. Many people would have accepted that life without thinking twice, but Moses couldn't. Something inside him refused to be comfortable, while his true identity and purpose were being ignored. Even in luxury, he felt a pull. Even in comfort, he felt restless. Why? Because purpose will disturb your comfort when you're not where you're supposed to be. Moses walked away from the palace life, not because it wasn't good, but because it wasn't God's plan for him. That's what inner conviction does. It won't always lead you to what's easy. It leads you to what's right. And if you're feeling that same unrest right now, that sense that you're meant for more, that you can't settle for average, that something greater is calling you, don't ignore it, because that feeling is a sign that God is preparing you for something far beyond comfort.
Before we go into the next signs, you need to understand something important. God doesn't just prepare you through experiences, He refines you through fire. The Bible says in Malachi 3:3 that He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. Think about that. A refiner doesn't rush the process. He watches closely as the fire burns, removing every impurity. And how does he know the refining is complete? Only when he can see his reflection in the silver. That means God allows certain seasons in your life not to destroy you, but to purify you. And it doesn't always feel good. The Bible also says in 1 Peter 1:7 that your faith is tested by fire and becomes more precious than gold. So when you're going through discomfort, when old habits are being stripped away, when you feel stretched beyond your limits, it's not random, it's refinement. Because God is not just preparing you for success, He's preparing you to sustain it. And in this next phase, this is where many people quit. But if you understand what God is doing, you won't run from the fire, you'll grow through it. Now, let's go into the next signs. The fourth sign is, God is correcting you deeply. Things you used to enjoy no longer feel right. Things you used to ignore now bother you. Not as a pregnant woman this time, with fickle feelings. Your conscience is sharper. Habits you once enjoyed now feel wrong. You're becoming more aware and more intentional. Hebrews 12:6 says God disciplines those He loves. That means if God is correcting you, it's because He's invested in your future. Success without character is dangerous, so God fixes your character first. The fifth sign, your mindset is evolving. Your mindset is changing. You're thinking bigger. You're becoming more focused. Success starts in the mind, and God is renewing yours first, so that even when you fall, you recover faster. Why? Because God has upgraded your mind. Romans 12:2 talks about being transformed by the renewing of your mind. Before God changes your life externally, He changes your thinking internally. The sixth sign, doors are closing unexpectedly. Beyond generational curses, beyond the working of the devil, God closes doors to protect those He loves. Opportunities you wanted suddenly disappear. This one is painful. Opportunities you prayed for disappear. People you trusted walk away. Plans you built collapse. And it feels like loss. But here's what many don't understand. Closed doors are often divine protection, because not every open door is God's open door. The devil also opens doors of traps and ensnarement. So many have entered doors that seem to be doors of success, only to find out it was a trap. They thought God opened it for them, not knowing the devil did. The devil copies the works of God. Paul was prevented from entering certain cities, only to be redirected to where his impact would be greater. Sometimes God says no, because He has a better yes waiting, not because He wants us stagnated. God closes doors, not because it was bad, but because it wasn't the best. Not every open door is from God, and not every closed door is a loss. Sometimes God closes doors to redirect you to your true assignment. Now, before we go into the final sign, you need to understand what happens right before elevation, because this stage is critical. The Bible says in 1 Peter 5:10, "After you have suffered a little while, He will restore you, make you strong, firm, and steadfast." Notice that. After the struggle comes the strengthening. And in James 1:12 it says, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life." That means there is always a reward on the other side of endurance. But here's where it gets intense. Right before breakthrough, the pressure often increases. Right before elevation, the battle feels heavier, because you are no longer in the beginning. In a marathon, it's at the final lap that requires more effort and more skilled racers. You are at the edge of something new. The final stretch is not where you relax. It's where you push with everything you have left. It's where your faith is tested the most, your patience is stretched the furthest, and your focus must be at its highest. Because God is not just bringing you out, He's bringing you up. And if you don't quit in this stage, you'll step into everything God has prepared for you. Now, let's go into the final sign. The seventh sign is, you feel a sense of urgency. Time suddenly feels important. You don't want to waste days anymore. You feel driven to grow, learn, and act. There's a fire inside you. And even when you're tired, you keep going. That's not pressure, that's alignment. When God is about to elevate you, He activates something within you that refuses to stay comfortable. You can't waste time anymore. You feel driven to grow, act, and move. That's not pressure, that's divine timing activating in your life. He places a fire inside you that refuses to stay comfortable till you archive your goal. Right now, you have two choices. You can misinterpret the process and give up, or you can recognize the signs and step into what God is doing in your life. Because on the other side of this process is a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and ready. If this message spoke to you, like this video, subscribe to Faith-Driven Success, and turn on notifications so you never miss life-changing content like this. And share this with someone who might be in their breaking season right now, because they need to hear this. God doesn't prepare people for small things. So if He's working on you this deeply, get ready. Your elevation is closer than you think. Get ready for something big. Comment below, I'm in my preparation season, if you believe God is working on you right now.